From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LA Late.
It's a big evening of Evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In tonight's reading, we go over the incredible breaking news as we go into a vote this coming week. As early as Monday, a vote will solidify and be done with your wonderful recon on the House. Then on the Senate we go. That incredible voting is set. And that voting will happen whether or not we have a Congressional Budget Office report done next week. The incredible recon will pay you about $15,000 across all the incredible clusters of checks, but you don't need to wait till next week because there's $45,000 of checks available for you right now under third stimulus. In this recording, I explained to you how to get all those incredible sums of money in a big evenings broadcast. Those big sums of money available right now. And then we turn it to the exciting details of student loan debt forgiveness. More debt could be forgiven across the board. We turn to fifth stimulus, which you're going to need coming up next year, as your COLA raises are going up 5.9%, but that's just the start of the equation. I got those monies and more as I show you how to get $45,000 right this week. Upwards of $80,000 as many viewers started a week and ended a week with zero, going to $80,000 in 7 days. And then we get ready for fourth stimulus with a vote next week. We got a lot of money. We got a lot of details. It starts right now. And the excitement is here. I'm glad you found me. And the evening begins right now as Evenings LALATE starts right now. Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful evening across the board. Here we go with the excitement of fifth stimulus and that COLA raise of 5.9% coming up next year. And then we have that student loan debt forgiveness across the board. That is huge. That could go by executive order. But the talk of the land, the issue at hand as we go into a big evening tonight is that incredible voting now set on that incredible recon this coming week. The incredible voting will be done whether or not we have a CBO report or we do. And that is solidified by a deal by Nancy Pelosi. A recon that'll pay you on average about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters of checks. I have all the details of those checks, but first, there's third stimulus. That pays you on top of $45,000 on average across the entire videos of this channel. And we got all those details in a big supersized recording tonight. Boy, we got third stimulus, we got fourth stimulus, we got fifth stimulus. We just don't have some bacon. And this, my friends, is Evenings LALATE. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record, and 140 million views because there's nowhere else on the planet you're going to learn so much about how to get money except here. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Let's go over what we're covering in this video. We're going to go over the incredible 3 clusters and 3 add-ons in this fourth stimulus that's going for a vote next week that'll pay you on average about $15,000. Then we're going to come back and go over each of these clusters of checks one at a time. We're going to step back a second for third stimulus that's still paying out money and how you can get an average $45,000. Many viewers have gotten $120,000 this coming week in your hands from third stimulus because that is the average payout that viewers have gotten. You need money not right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. Then we come back over to fifth stimulus. That's coming in January. I told you we got a lot of this recording and it starts right now. We're going to start first with this incredible, wonderful fourth stimulus. And that fourth stimulus will pay you on average across all these incredible clusters of checks when it becomes law about $15,000. There's 3 clusters and 3 add-ons. Let's go over each of them one at a time. And let's look at the first cluster. When I say up front, it means right in your hand. When I say back end, it means happening later. Let's go over the first cluster, and here we go. Cluster number 1, hazard pay, and that is a back-end check, and that's for my essential workers 1 more year. We got $4,000 of elder care, front-end check, and that is wonderful across the board for my elders. Then we got $4,000 to care for young children. We got a front-end check. For repair that home if you live in a low-income community. Definitely helpful. Viewers think this is one of the best provisions of this fourth stimulus recon. It is. Stay with me. I'll explain this later in this video to you how you get this money. Then they did 1 more year of the child tax credit front end check, and then they got money for the purchase of your new electric vehicle. $12,500 back end. And there you go. The first cluster, everything in there passing and will become a finished House bill finalized and voted and approved this coming week as early as Monday. Let's go to the first add-on. It comes from Maxine Waters. This is the second most exciting provision of this incredible recon, and it's money to purchase of your first home. They're going to give you free money for the purchase of your first home, and Maxine wanted it at $25,000. It's going to be a little bit less, but there you go. Stay with me later in this video. I'll explain how to get this great money. We go to the second cluster of checks. And here we go, home repairs and paid leave. Very exciting. So let's go over these credible items in the second cluster. Paid family leave, front end check. Household tax credit, back end check. Pre-kindergarten, front end check. And then they got in there money to weatherize your home. You need to weatherize your home because of the holidays. It's the holidays. And those Christmas carolers just come along and they're beautiful. And then suddenly you look outside and there's a bunch of lobsters. Mitch sent them over. He needs campaign donations. So don't let them in. Weatherize your home quickly. Let's go to the second add-on of checks. It comes from Bob Casey. And wow, this is huge. This is $250 billion for home health care for my seniors and workers. Didn't get that price point, but got a little bit less. And that is for my seniors and my people who are disabled. Great money for that home health care. Totally free. Stay with me. I'll explain it later in this video, which brings us to the third cluster of checks. And here we go. These incredible third clusters of checks are deliciousness. We have free school meals for all, the front end free checks. We got cheaper prescription. That is a covered benefit, immigration reform, a benefit. We got free internet. Farmers, we're waiting to see if that survived. Clean Energy Out, we're waiting to see if the independent contractor survived. And then the Medicare benefits. Wow, that is a lot in that. The Medicare benefits, well, let's look at that. First, dropping the Medicare eligibility age, not in there, taken care of in the Senate. So says Bernie. Also dental and vision. But they did get in their hearing, and they did get in their Medicaid holdout states. Which brings us to our third add-on of checks, and that is MSC, monthly or multiple IRS stimulus check. We have two places to add it, and they're both in the Senate. We have the Senate Voterama and the Senate Subcommittee. You can see later in this video how Bernie and all the senators say, it's a good bill, but we need to make it better because there's major gaps in this bill. That's why you went in the subcommittee. They want to give you a lot more checks, and those could be IRS monthly stimulus checks. And then you have the Senate Voterama. Senate Voterama is where they introduce legislation over 48 hours. It's the very end of this entire process. And during the Voterama, they do great things. That's what Liz and Chuck did under third stimulus. There was no provision in there for student loan debt forgiveness being a tax-free event, and they got it done. Without it being done, students who had their debts forgiven would have had to pay $10,000 to the IRS immediately. You don't have that money, and they got it in during Voterama. That's why it's important to advocate, and the advocacy statement is still at issue. The number one senator for the number one equation says, advocate. Because here we go to the Senate. And here's what the Chief of Staff says. They now have in total between congressional and senators' offices received more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. Everyone's amazed by their outpouring of touching stories. Now they have a better understanding what Americans are going through the pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories, and they're the voice of the people across the nation in you, LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy until this becomes law. Very, very important. We have the 6 senators, the 2 C's, the 2 W's, and the 2 S's. And you should separate your week with calling 2 per day. 2 cases, the 2 C's, Casey Coons, the Sanders and Schumer, the Ward and the Wyden, and advocate for that inclusion. But boy, do we have a big second half of this recording. I'm going to show you how not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, and not 5 days from now, right now to get $45,000 on average from third stimulus. That money is still paying, and I'm going to give you a tough love moment to show you why you need to get that money right now, because it's available right now. To pay big bills across the board, I'm excited for you. The money is still available. Then we return to fourth stimulus that has that House vote coming as early as Monday. And that vote will be done whether or not we have a Congressional Budget Office report released. I have the latest details. And then we turn to the exciting details of fourth stimulus. That'll pay you on average about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters. Then we'll be turning to student loan debt forgiveness. That could be done by executive order. And then fifth stimulus next year. Yeah, This stimulus definitely needed because 5.9% COLA raise is good, but just a starting point. We have those details and more as we go into a second half of this video, but stay with me, as a lot of details is coming up, and those details include a big $45,000 cluster of money you should get. Those details and more coming up after the commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on a big evening's LALATE as we go into the second half with the exciting details of the House bill going to a final vote this coming week. I'm excited for the details across the board. Then we turn to the exciting elements of that vote. And then that vote is now confirmed and will happen as early as Monday, if not later this week. The CBO, the Congressional Budget Office report, potentially not being revealed this week, but what will happen thereafter. Then programs that'll pay about $15,000, all the latest details. Student loan debt forgiveness, more debt could be forgiven across the board. And then we turn to the exciting details of fifth stimulus. Those details and more, plus my tough love moment as we go into a big second half. I'm excited you're here, and this, my friends, is LALATE. So subscribe. A 400,000 subscribers YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Countdown and then Stream Stimulus. And away we go with an exciting second half of this video starting right now. In this coming week, as early as Monday, a vote will be solidified to finalize and finish your recon out of the House of Representatives. The House vote will be happening as early as Monday, but as late as Friday, but likely on a Thursday, because that's the day that Nancy likes, to pass your incredible recon to finality out of the House. Off to the Senate we would go. This incredible recon is great because, guess what? That deal solidified by Pelosi is being held up by her. She was asked about this during a climate conference in Scotland just a few days ago, and she said the vote will be happening definitely this week, whether or not we have a Congressional Budget Office report. The Congressional Budget Office report not going to be available this week, we now see. And that Congressional Budget Office report not going to be holding up your recon vote. So in this incredible recon, there is a lot of checks, and those lots of checks, get that pen and paper ready, pay on average about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters of checks. The first one at issue is the excitement of the paid leave. What you're seeing for the first time on Evenings LA tonight is that paid leave helps people who are not even workers. If you have a son or daughter who takes you to surgery, who takes you to a doctor's appointment, this is going to benefit your household. Why? Because they're going to get paid a lot of money. What's at issue? Paid leave, paid family leave, refers to when you have to stay home for work to care for an illness, a death, or a birth of a child in the household. Doesn't have to be you, and it could be someone else. Here's the equation. How much does it pay? A fortune. It's proposed at $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year. $400 a week if you make $15,000 more per year. Well, how many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. Yes, this is a lot of money. So that would be 4 times $1,700. That would be $5,000, $6,000. 4 times even the low end of $400. That's $1,600. Yes. So, for example, your son or daughter has to stay home from work for a week to care for you because you slipped and fell. Yes, they will get paid lots of money. Let's say the son or daughter has to take care of you and take you to a surgery for a week. Yes, they will get paid a lot of money. And if that person is you or a household member, you get paid the money as well. You get paid the money directly. W-2 and 1099 all included all income levels, which is absolutely incredible. They got in there the SALT cap removed or reduced or increased. What is this? It's huge. In New York and New Jersey, for example, you have to pay a lot in state taxes. Well, under the 2017 tax code overhaul, you can only deduct on your federal tax return $10,000 of what you paid in state and local taxes. Well, they raised it to $72,500. The moderate Democrats got it in there. They got $40 billion of job training in there as well. A huge, great detail across the board. Now you can learn a new skill. And that's even for my seniors who have retired. If you want to go back to work, you're going to see on a fifth stimulus, you're going to be allowed to and still stay on benefits and still get trained for a new job. Wow. Medicaid gap fix. It's huge. Under Obamacare, they expanded Obamacare nationwide, but the Republican governors, some did not want to pay for it. That's the 12 holdout states. Now those 12 holdout states will have a workaround plan from the Democrats in the recon that will provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income individuals in those states. Wow. Immigration reform is in the recon. It is not a check. Then they got in there the housing assistance, $150 billion of it. That will be rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, also the repairs and the purchase of that home. Now, that brings us a step back to look at third stimulus. Third stimulus and fourth stimulus overlap in that they have the same programs repeated. In both third and fourth stimulus, you have rent, utility, mortgage assistance, and also other similar items. The only difference is third stimulus is law, and it's paying money right now. Fourth stimulus is not law, which brings me to a tough love moment. And that tough love moment involves the importance of you getting this money right now under third stimulus if you need it. If you need help with rent, if you need help with utilities, food, internet, clothing, mortgage assistance, you need to get it under third stimulus, and I'm going to cover it right now, right here. Third stimulus was approved earlier this year and is still paying out fortunes. The average viewer of this channel has gotten $45,000 from third stimulus. How do you get it? You're going to see it right now on this channel. Here you go. Under third stimulus, the average rent that viewers got initially was somewhere in the $20,000 range. This number has been updated and has now grown to nearly $40,000 as the average payout viewers have gotten for rent. What's important to understand for rent is you can get it multiple times. So if you got rent from this channel last year, you can get it again. In fact, many viewers have gotten 3 rounds of rent. 2 rounds on the third stimulus, sure. Get it on the third stimulus, get it again on fourth stimulus. Where do you get it? 6 places. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. The key words you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. Now, it's also important to remember is that the rent pays everyone. So do not come with a false pretense. They don't pay rent unless, untrue. You do not have to be behind on rent. They pay rent for people on SSI and SSDI. They pay rent in red states and blue states. There is different eligibility for all 6 places. You need to reach out to all 6 places. If you remember this channel, read the newsletter first and read the statement about Treasury that describes the new $13 billion cash infusion for rent, so you know what you're asking for before you make the phone call. Also, get rent from multiple locations. Don't get it from one place, and don't put just one application in there. Put applications all over the place. Utilities. Utilities was never a huge issue in the summer because it's not cold. It will be in a few weeks. The utility numbers that viewers have gotten have tripled. Viewers are now getting on average about $15,000, $18,000 for utilities. You want to get utilities from all your utility companies. Water, gas, heating oil, electric, telephone, internet, absolutely. Get all of them. If you got 5 utilities, call up all 5. And here's the equation. The new Consumer Price Index report released this week, CPI, which governs inflation, shows that one of the biggest increasing numbers in the last 12 months has been heating oil, up 49%. So you need to get these monies for utilities right now, right here, available under third stimulus. Have problems putting food on the table? Why haven't you not gotten SNAP? SNAP is money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. One of the biggest legacies of this channel will be the millions of Americans who got SNAP because of my recordings. And massive amounts of SNAP. Like Mark's brother-in-law getting $25,000 a year lifetime because of this channel. Over the next 10 years, he'll get $250,000. Everyone's SNAP food went up 25% last month. This is the numbers a few months ago on this channel. So get that money for food from Department of Agriculture. Next, get multiple items. Don't get one item and stop. Don't get one type of item at one place. You can get it from several places. Here are the combo people. Let's look at Mark. Mark has now grown and gotten more sums of money. He's at over $100,000. Here's Lorraine. She's approaching $120,000. So if anyone is in any of the chats and say, I really need that fourth stimulus because I cannot pay my rent. Rent you can pay for the third stimulus right today. Can't need that fourth stimulus because I can't pay my utilities, can't put food on the table. That's all third stimulus, and it pays right today. You can get on average about $45,000, but most of the channel's viewers have gotten close to $100,000 for third stimulus. Get that money right today. Let's go back now to fourth stimulus and continue with that housing assistance. In addition to those third stimulus items, they're adding new items, and those are home repairs. If you live in a low-income community, that will be a grant. That will be upfront. Then weatherize your home, all types of homes, and then they have the money for the purchase price of your first home. It's huge, and that is for a home, single family, first time, and we don't know anything else about it just yet. They got in-home health care for seniors and people on disabled. Great. Then they got the Pell Grant. The Pell Grant, $550 boost or an extra check to current students on the Pell Grant. Here comes that electric car. They got $12,500 back-end checks for the purchase of a new electric vehicle made in union shops. So that is Chrysler, GM, and all their subsidiaries like Jeep and GMC. That's $12,500. So, for example, the Chevy Volt is about $30,000. They'll give you $12,500 on credits on the back end if you buy that car. Up to. Then we got $65 per month when a child has to stay home from school for food. It's huge. Which brings us to one of the best part of the entire recon is that wonderful add-on that came at the 11th hour, and that is the cheaper prescription medication. That cheaper prescription medication is huge, and it was done by Joseph Biden. What is at issue? Let's go over the calculations. Over the last 20 years, Medicare was unable to negotiate prices for medicine because of their charter agreement. And Big Pharma tried to keep that as the status quo with 15 paid lobbyists. But it all ended 2 Wednesdays ago when Joseph Biden picked up the phone and called Kristen Sinema and said, you need to come on board. And she did. And now she's blessing the recon. What's going to happen? Instantly, you're going to see your biggest and most expensive medication drop dramatically in price. Yes, a week ago today, I asked viewers how much you're paying for insulin if you're on Medicare. $900, I was hearing. Now you're going to pay $35. The most expensive medication, like cancer and arthritis and diabetes, will slash dramatically. Good faith negotiations will start immediately on day one with 20 prescription medications and then growing to 30 of them by 2028. They cannot increase the prices more than inflation per year. Chuck says, get ready for next year. I'm going to be back to have more of this provision. He's going to do it better. And then we have Peters, who says this is really good for seniors. We have Durbin and Sinema also praising this as well. Well, what's going to happen as soon as the legislation lands in the Senate? There's 2 provisions I have been saying that the Senate parliamentarian will be looking at. We now learn there will be more. Senate parliamentarian, government official, who looks at the legislation, says this cannot go by recon. This can. Immigration reform. I said I think it's going to come out. She previously ruled it doesn't belong in a recon. Then the next provision, paid leave. 50-50 at the moment, we don't know. But breaking news tonight is that inflationary benchmark for medication could come out. there is indication that they want to do it as a penalty. So if Big Pharma raises more than inflation, then the federal government can penalize. They think that cannot go by recon. And guess what? The Republicans are now saying anything that we can challenge with the Senate parliamentarian, we will be doing that. So very, very important across the board. This incredible recon will pay you about $15,000 across all these incredible programs, but that's just a start. As Bernie Sanders and others are now saying, we're adding a lot of provisions in there. He says there's major gaps. It's best bill since the 60s, but there's major gaps in there. And we're going to add those provisions. Ron Wyden says, yeah, get ready. A lot of things are going in. The deal's not done until the Senate acts. And Ron Wyden went on to say, you know what? There's a significant amount to still be done. We have Senator Chris Coons, and we have Chuck, and we have Murphy all saying, wait till it gets to the Senate. Here come the changes. And also here come now your checks. So get that pen and paper ready. We're going to go over some of those checks, more about them, and how you get them and what they are. Universal pre-K, totally free, 1 year, front end check. Childcare, covered benefit, back end. CTC, child tax credit, check, front end. That's $3,600 or $3,000, 1 year. Earned income tax credit for my essential workers, back end. Home health care, covered benefit. Hearing services, likely a check in the mail for that hearing aid. We covered the home issues, the home repairs. And we covered the Pell Grant, $550, and then the $65 per month for the college students, for the student who's not in school. Which brings us to the question, what provisions is Bernie adding to this recon and other senators when it lands the Senate? Lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision. Those are very big, important issues for Bernie. Currently, the Medicare eligibility age is 65. Bernie wants to drop it to 55. Bob Casey, 60. We're going to watch whether they can get in there. Then we have dental and vision. Last in there with a check, but let's see what happens. When we talk about dental, Bernie wants his 10 years of paid benefits not going to survive at 10 years. It was dropped to 3 years, but then it went all the way down to an $850 check. $850 is good, but it doesn't cover most procedures, so not enough money. And that fell out. It's not in the House. It's not going to be in the House bill. So we'll see what happens with that. That feet over your teeth, that fight over your teeth, feet over your teeth, interesting visual. Then we go over to the eyeglasses. He wants to have an eye exam and a pair of frames every year, which I said $50, Costco pair of frames, $100. Oh boy. Then came that one viewer. My frames, my daughter buys me. She pays $450 for the frames alone that she buys me. That's what Bernie should do. Bernie is not the Bank of Bernie. Bernie is not Fendi Bernie or Gucci Bernie. Bernie is not Christian Lacroix Bernie. Bernie is Bernie. And Medicare ain't paying $450 a frame. I do not know where that number's coming from. You know, you go to the finest shops in the Champs-Élysées of Paris and they say $450 frames. Yes, that... we don't even charge that much. So, and there was a big battle over frames in some of the chats the last 2 days, where one person said, well, I go to this very nice optometrist, and he does a very complicated eye exam and a very complicated frame. And he says it's imported, charges me $900. Oh, it caused complete turmoil. People telling the viewer to fire that optometrist right away. Yeah. So you see how people get taken to the cleaners all the time, but you're not going to get $450 frames. And thank you for the daughter for paying for them. But yeah, that's not happening. And we're not getting a Fendi money clip to hold our money in this recon either. It's just like, whoa. So yeah, I'm not saying it's $150 total, but I'm just proposing a potential number of $150. Well, the CTC, I show it $60,000 or less per year. The housing aid, $175. I show it a little bit more, and I show the in-home healthcare, $200. I'll have more about those details in a second, but let's turn over to student loan debt forgiveness for a second. Student loan debt forgiveness is huge. And that student loan debt forgiveness should be done during the holidays. It's an offer. It's $10,000. The Democrats have been offered a great offer by executive order, $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. They should take it. The president first forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation. Then people went to work in the nonprofit sector and people went to work in the public sector. That $10,000 offer should be taken by the Democrats. Then that COLA raise, 5.9%. Very, very interesting across the board. Why is it interesting? It's interesting because 5.9% is not enough. And it's sort of a catch-up situation. And that is why this stimulus is so darn important. Yeah, I'm covering third, I'm covering fourth, and I'm now covering fifth stimulus in this recording. What's at issue? COLA is a horrible benchmark. It's a crap of a benchmark. I've been covering it for over a year, and that horrible benchmark of COLA has been around for many, many years. It doesn't move. And as it costs more to live over the last 2-3 years, COLA didn't move. So you're behind. Then the pandemic hit, and you're really behind. And then we came out of the pandemic, now we have inflation, and they give you a 5.9% increase. Got to do more, and that's why you need to do fifth stimulus. First, raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits. Then apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation, and then you apply that in December 2022. Then every year they'd reapply it. So if there is inflation every year, you go up that additional number across the board. They remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. And there you go. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest. Finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? The membership link is under the video. Become a member today to learn about all the big money under first, second, and third stimulus you can get, and what's proposed under fourth stimulus. That membership newsletter goes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also become a subscriber. Hit that subscribe button right now, which is a perfect tee-up for me to go into the final minutes of this video with my commentary and my analysis, slightly different tonight, and it starts right now. What do I see and what do I hear and what am I concerned about? Tough love. Tough love is back on this channel today. And I did tough love over the summer. Tough love I had to use when people were not following advice. What was happening over the summer? There were people who had not gotten the third stimulus check. And they said, it's going to come. I said, no, you have to file a tax return. Tough love, you got to file a tax return. And then IRS said you had to file it by a certain day. I said, tough love. And then when we talked about the CTC, I said, they're going to go off the tax return. Got to file a tax return. Tough love. And people were saying, I'm not going to do it. I said, tough love, you got to do it or you're not getting the money. What we're looking at tonight is a similar type of tough love situation where people have somehow lost focus, whether my error or whether they weren't listening to the videos or whether they're new viewers. What's at issue? I saw viewers in the live chats in the last few days saying, I need that fourth stimulus to pass right now because I need to pay rent. I need fourth stimulus to pass right now because I have no money for food, because I can't pay the mortgage, because I can't pay the utility bill. Hold up, red alarm, alert, sound the alarm, pound the alarm, as Nicki Minaj would say. That's all available on the third stimulus, and that's law right now. Why would you be looking into the future for fourth stimulus to pay those items that third stimulus, already law, pays right now? In this week that has passed, you could have gotten it paid. Why would you be looking to the future for fourth stimulus to pay something that current law pays? That's why I brought back third stimulus like a ticking time bomb, saying, wait a second, you got to get this money. There is no excuse for anyone who has not gotten rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, SNAP, or similar, and is looking forward to the future in fourth stimulus to get that paid for through some means. Let's understand. Third stimulus pays everyone. You don't have to be behind on the rent. You don't have to have suffered COVID. You don't have to live in a certain state. You don't have to be in a red state or a blue state. You're not disqualified because you're on SSI or SSDI. You're not disqualified if you're a senior. You qualify for that money. I had another warning signal. I just sensed that the volunteers weren't getting many questions for help on how to find these sums of money, because you get a sense people ask in the live chat, then they go to the volunteers. Volunteers on average get about 16 requests for information or assistance per day. How much were they getting? One volunteer this weekend said got no messages whatsoever from any viewer in 3 days. Big alarm. Big alarm. It means no one was looking for third stimulus. No one was leaning on third stimulus. People were looking to the future for money. Trouble with a capital T. Trouble with a capital T. It defies everything that we talk about on this channel. Number one, I came on this channel covering the subject matter in the summer of last year when other people were covering the subject matter and butchering it, saying, hey, there's this Heroes Act with Nancy Pelosi, and Nancy's doing all this with the Heroes Act. And I said, wait a second, here I am. I'm LA. Who told you be dependent upon the date in which the Heroes Act passes? That is a ticking time bomb for dependency on an event that may not happen. And guess what? Heroes Act never happened. Heroes Act never happened. All those people had told millions of Americans to be dependent upon a Heroes Act to be passed. It never even got called to a vote by Mitch McConnell, who threw in the wastebasket. I said, that's financial dependence. I don't do financial dependency. We do financial independence. You want to be independent of any event that impacts your bill paying. Moreover, I taught viewers to cash checks, not track checks. We're cashing checks. If we have 20 opportunities right in front of us to get money, you grab them. You don't look to the future and say, I'm hoping to get that check in the mail if this happens and that happens and this happens. No, there's 20 offers to get checks right today. Get them. Financial independence and cashing checks, not tracking checks. And suddenly I realized it was a big issue and hence a tough love moment. Do not look full future into forced stimulus to pay bills that are paid under the third stimulus. Third stimulus is an enormous bill. It's an enormous bill. And the enormity of the bill was evidenced a few weeks ago when Treasury said, hey, we haven't even used the last $13 billion for rent. The great thing about third stimulus is you can get one round, another round. You can keep on getting rounds of these monies. You can keep on getting rounds of these monies until the monies are gone. Then you have the nonprofits. You have 5 nonprofits: United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. There is no time or place. It is fake news. It is false. It is incorrect. If anyone says, I don't qualify for anything under third stimulus for rent. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, because you haven't made the phone call. You're lying to yourself. Tough love moment. You're lying to yourself. Because of the 6 places from city, county, and state, you qualify. And if you're one of the 1% that doesn't qualify for all 6, the nonprofits pay for those monies because they have different eligibility. What have I shown people over the last few months? That you can start the week with $0 and end the week with $80,000. Several weeks ago, we had 3 viewers. One of them was Johnny. By the middle of the week, those 3 viewers all had gotten $45,000 from third stimulus. Guess what? You can do this as well today because the money is still there. Johnny didn't stop. He continued to the weekend and he got more programs paid for. By the weekend, he got 7 items, which brought him a grand total of $80,000. He started the week at 0. He ended the week at 80,000. Now, why is Johnny's example important? Not so much for the 80,000, but because what happened? He called a lot of places. He had to have called at least 15 places to get paid by 7. And he didn't just get paid by rent in one place. He didn't get just paid by utilities in one place. He got multiple places to pay him money. I had a wonderful viewer in the live chat 2 days ago saying, I called one place in Pennsylvania. I'm on the waiting list and I've been waiting for 3 months. What do I do? Are you watching the videos? Are you watching the videos? You applied at one place and you called it a day? What are you doing? That's not how we do it here. You get rent as many places you can get it at. You apply in 50,000 places. You apply everywhere. Johnny got $80,000 because he made 15 phone calls and he got approved at 7 places. Those other 2 people in that 1 week, they stopped. I think it was at 4 items with 40,000. They stopped. He didn't stop. He kept on going. He went to 7 items. Mark, who I featured a lot on this channel, he was at 50,000. He's now at over 100,000. You think he just made 1 phone call? No. He went back and got other sums of money from different places. Margaret's a perfect example. Every few days, $200 here, $500 here. I got someone to pay this utility bills, another $300. It adds up. It adds up. Bills. If you look at your current bills, I can get your rent, your utilities, your mortgage, your internet, your telephone, your food, some cases clothing with the nonprofit, small appliances, a broken window. What of that is not in third stimulus that's in fourth stimulus? Massive home repairs, $35,000 home repairs. And that's it. You need to get those sums of money right now. When you look into the future at fourth stimulus, you should not be tracking checks. You should not be donut-y. Some people have been very, very donut-y lately. And donut-y is, I just want one thing from that fourth stimulus recon. And I know which one you're thinking of. I just want one thing. Because the other things, I just want one thing from that fourth stimulus recon. Don't be donut-y. Donut-y will cause financial dependency on the eventuality of one event. You don't want to be donut-y and look to one event and only one event. You qualify. Don't sit back and feed yourself some fake narrative to repeat into yourself. I don't qualify for anything. I called one place and they said, sorry, Jane, you don't qualify for anything. I didn't call anyone else. If you can call 6 senators, Casey, Coons, Warren, Sanders, Schumer, and advocate for a stimulus check, you can certainly call 6 places to get rent. You can certainly call 11 places to get rent. You can call to get that utilities. You can call to get that mortgage. You can call to get those things. I had one person send me a beautiful message yesterday. Person in a retirement home said, my rent is paid, my food is paid, my utilities paid, made a whole list of all the things that are paid. And then said, that's why I only want one thing. It was ironic because I looked at the list of things. I said to myself, you can get one of these things. And he complained about what he needed the money for. Wanted the money for better internet because the internet he's provided is not good. Nonprofits, you can go on the nonprofits right now to get better internet. You want to wait for forced stimulus to give you a check so you can go spend money on a better internet? The nonprofits are doing that right now. So again, all these sums of money are available right now. What it takes for third stimulus is what it took for second stimulus, is what it took for first stimulus. In December 2020, I told viewers this channel, Heroes Act, Nancy Pelosi, 2020. I see Atlanta Mitch's wastebasket. I don't want you to be sitting around. I need to get you money. So I showed viewers how to get money for rent, paid their bills during the holiday season of 2020, $250,000 of it. And at the time, I said to viewers, you are also learning a skill set. Skill set, meaning when third stimulus becomes law, if it returns these programs, you're going to know how to get it and you're going to pounce as a purple hawk. Hawk, hawk. Then I got a preview of what was going to be in the third stimulus early this year. I said, hey, it's coming back. All these programs are coming back. So get them now into second stimulus because when they become law, you're going to know how to do it. Remember all those videos? Skill set, learning skills. What happened to using your skills? I know you know how to do this because you've done it before. And if you haven't done it before and just found this channel, then you're going to do it today under third stimulus. So when it's under fourth stimulus, you're going to know how to do it and pounce as a purple hawk. Cashing checks that are available for you is where your mindset should be right now. Not thinking you disqualify something and not reading junk elsewhere. Every single day, I still can see someone jump in the live chat saying, I read somewhere that you only get it unless you're a UFO and you appear in a Dua Lipa video. It's just like these strange things that people hear and then they buy into them and then they don't do anything to get the money. You want the money, go get the money. You want the money, go get the money. Stop making excuses. Stop saying you just don't qualify. Stop saying you don't do anything. Pick up the phone and call. And I don't mean making one phone call. I mean making lots of phone calls. You got an application on file? Good. Make it another application on file. Don't stop with one application. Get 2 applications. This sound familiar? It should. I made this recording on the very first day of this channel where people were knocking their EIDL loans and grants approved. I said the most simplest thing, and it was the massive hit of this channel that put this channel on the map. I said, call up SBA. And keep on calling every single day. I made that video till I was black and blue in the face. I said, call every day until you get your SBA loan out of the vortex and approved. Same application of thoughts right now. Third stimulus, call and get the money. Don't say I made one phone call and I'm done. That ain't this channel. It's never going to be this channel. Nor the $450 frames. This channel is never going to be $450 frames. Maybe Nancy, it's $450 frame for her channel, but not for this channel. Coming up next is Evening's Countdown. Then we got Stream Stimulus. We got a big 3-hour programming block. So stay with me. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers is a YouTube record. I want your part of incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for enjoying the tough love, and stay with Allied for More.